a friend called me and they said, you know, I found all this stuff down the road from your house in this alleyway. Well, like, we should go and have a look at it. And I probably found, I don't know, 700,000 slides or something. And then everything went into the cupboard, and I sort of forgot about it. But after a while, I went back and looked through the slides and was sort of intrigued by the fact that there were a lot of slides in the collection that were a complete mystery to me in a way. They held objects that I couldn't tell, and I couldn't tell what they were, which was interesting to me because I suppose I thought that often we associate photographs as being very immediately legible, and that these sort of mysteries were intriguing. And so I decided that I wanted to kind of use that inability to know something or to recognize something perfectly to try and well, draw attention to it, but also to think about how that might evoke a way of exploring or thinking about what something is, and that act might be more interesting or as interesting as knowing explicitly what something is. The thing with the slides was that in a way I wanted to perform or mimic the role of a viewer, basically, in that I came to all of this information. I didn't understand it entirely. I didn't ask for a lot more. I didn't do a lot of research to surround or position the slides that I had found. And the sort of talk that I give was to try and evoke or suggest a wandering form of attention, one that isn't directed specifically at a target or a thesis, but one that's exploring a collection of ideas. And in order to do that, I was looking for structures that would allow me to wander off or miss the point, but still be evocative in their own right. And one of the things that I found most useful to do that, or one of the most pleasurable ways I found to do it, was to interject some of the things I was speaking about, to interject poetry into them. And I was borrowing from poets like, for example, John Ashbery. And John Ashbery's work often addresses attention and various different forms of attention or wandering attention and thought.
A continuity of discrete instants, each a pure limit which both joins and divides past and future.
Very infrequently do I use sort of references to the past that are longer than, 70 years ago or something. I'm usually most interested in the very immediate recent past. A kind of section of time that I think that we can interpret quite easily, or we see as similar to our own time. And we often sort of we're in the process now of producing a kind of narrative or history for the recent past. And I think that often those narratives tend to be quite problematic. They produce images that make us feel comfortable in the present. And a lot of my work, I'm interested in trying to draw attention to the fact that the past, in fact, is a foreign space that we often don't maintain as foreign and different and potentially not entirely knowable. We want to render it comfortable and to our particular present.